How you guys doing? I am Nathan, but the truth. Okay, I wanted to do something a little different. Talk about some social ills that we have to conquer or, come to terms with. And this will be something that, as an individual, if you're listening to this, watching this video, you don't need to go on a religious campaign or whatever to, spread this message. Just take it within you and change you. Recognize things that if there's flaws that I'm mentioning or whatever, that you can recognize it and say, hey, listen, I kind of understand where he's coming from. And he has a point. I'm going to work on me on this. And one of the things I noticed in the African American community, there's this battle of the sexes erupting on a grand scale. And and I'm going to tell you why. You might not want to grasp that, but you got to understand why. Young African American males are entering into what's called a higher tax bracket, so to speak, because they are going into high tech. They talked to you before about high tech is coming, high tech is coming. These young men have been doing it. They've been studying and going into high tech, and the salaries are just baffling for African Americans. Okay, we've not seen that kind of money. I'm seeing young guys coming over here in the Philippines in their mid-20s making mid-six figures. So when I say mid-six figures, I'm talking $400,000 or $500,000 a year, and they're coming over here and they're just like tickled pink, because here they're going to breakfast and they're spending $1 for breakfast, $2 for lunch and dinner. We're talking dollars just for dinner. $20 to stay in a medium hotel, and $40 to $60 to stay in our finest hotels. And they're getting pampered. Oh, they having a ball. And this is not just Philippines. They going all over. They're hitting Belize, Colombia, Dominican Republic, Thailand, Vietnam. Oh, they are just flopping. They little black asses everywhere, just having a ball. And it's causing some turmoil in the U.S. because young black women are being very demanding when it comes to what they want. They've always been that way, according to these young men, and they don't like it. They see it more as, hey, you want me to have all this? Well, I got all this, but what have you got? And it's that kind of tit for tat. And these young women, because in America, their moral compass has been broken, shattered. Okay? They were attacked far worse than these young black men. They were attacked by the NOW movement, okay? National Organization of Women, okay? Women's Livers, okay? And all this militant women, I don't need no man kind of thing, challenging masculinity. And these guys aren't down with that. And the women don't know how to let go of that crystal ball. Say, hey, listen, I don't want this, in my relationship. But they holding on to it. And these guys are moving on. But the women, because their moral compass has been broken, okay, and those women's liberation have said, well, you can be with as many men as you want. You still okay. Because prior to them, a woman's virtue hung in the balance. Now it's thrown out the window. Dress any way you want. Can't nobody tell you how to dress, blah, 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 and all that. Well, you guys, there was a woman back in 20s and 30s, okay, named Josephine Baker. And that woman was used to discredit the black female, okay? They pulled her clothes off, got her on stage, and got her to monkey shine and acting fool. And you can go and look at some of them videos of her, and she's wearing the grass skirt. They love to put the grass skirt because they want to make us out to be a monkey. And she'd take the banana and put it up in her vaginal, okay, out on stage and this and that. And it was horrible. It was worse than burlesque. Burlesque was what you see in the strip joints now. Hers was worse. Her act was even worse, very vulgar. And every time she came to town, she was very famous for this, doing the hoochie coochie dance, okay? And step for step, that's what Beyonce does. Step for step. Remember I said that. That dance routine that she would do and everything. The hoochie coochie dance, had a grass skirt, you take the bananas and put them up in her vaginal. She'd go to a town and do a show. Let's say it's Austin, Texas. Back then, just old cattle town, but plenty in town, plenty of, good old boys would come to see Josephine Baker. Okay, that night after the show, because see, she had super high security, okay? Boys protected their money. She was their money, okay? And hurry up and after her show, they'd hurry up, snatch her up, and get her on that train car so that they can go on to the next town. Well, those guys was thirsting for more good old boys. And so they'd catch black women walking the street at night. Many of them had to labor from morning till night. And they'd catch them, take them out in the woods, tie them to a tree, and made them do the hoochie coochie dance while they drunk, throwing beer bottles at them, raping them, beating them. And this went on every town she went in. After the shows, black women suffered. Black women put a hit out on her contract. Black Women of America. Y'all didn't know that. Y'all thought she went to France because they just loved her. French people are the most racist and hate-filled people against blacks on this planet. Look what they've done to Africa. And they're still trying to do to Africa. So get that out of your mind, thinking she went, and she was just some great war hero. They say she was a spy for the Americans against the Nazis and all that during the occupation. That's all a lie. Okay? She was running for her life because black women did not appreciate having to go through every time she came to town. They had to be raped and murdered. A lot of them got murdered. They didn't make it back home. Okay? They didn't allow that type of you putting on a show to reduce us. Okay? Fast forward. Now, you guys got these Beyoncés and I don't know some of the other girls' names or whatever that y'all call famous. They're very white looking to me. I didn't know they were black because people said, oh, she's black or whatever, I didn't know. But anyway, they pose as black women and they go to all these countries, and then going to these countries, they putting on shows. Well, there's only certain countries that allow them to put on a show because it's filthy to them. If you've ever seen a Beyonce show, you know what I'm talking about. But most of you have never been outside the boundaries of the United States, and those people have a very high moral compass. See, in the United States, there's no moral compass. In fact, if you talk to black women today about morality, they talk to you about freedom. Well, you just bad because I have freedom. Y'all going over there being with them women You know, they ain't free like we are. They don't want to be. They could be. I'm in a country where they could be. They can do whatever they want, essentially, but they don't have the desire to do that. Y'all talk about Iran. Iran recently came down with this law about how they wanted their people to dress, men and women, and they won't allow no Beyonce nowhere near their borders. Okay, they won't allow this one that they call Red or whatever, and they got another one they call Stallion and all that. They won't allow those people inside of their country. That's in South America, Central America, okay, Africa, pretty much all parts of Africa. Hell no. They don't allow that. They have a high moral compass. It has nothing to do with anybody being in bondage. In Iran, it was scared to death of them fools putting on a show like that. And they were afraid that their women would start being like that. So they came with a strict dress code. And what y'all don't know, because you're not Islamic, had a damn thing to do with it, hijab or hijab or whatever you call that the women wear. Nuns wear coverings too, but they're allowed to walk around with theirs and not be ridiculed. You guys ridicule those women, but you don't understand why they wear it. A Muslim woman wears a hijab or hijab. If I'm saying it wrong, forgive me, I'm not Muslim. But if she wears that, that's to honor God. Don't have a fucking thing to do with a man. Not a damn thing to do with a man. She's not trying to appease the men of Iran or Afghanistan or Saudi Arabia. It has nothing to do with that. She wears that only to honor God. That is between her and her God. Man don't tell her to wear that. Man tells her, if you step out of the house, you're going to step out of the house in decent attire. That's what they say. Because they come with the dress code because they want to head off the Josephine Bakers. Okay? That kind of thing. They're fighting against that immorality. And so you sisters need to be aware of that and deal with your moral issues, because these brothers, they have an issue with that. No man wants to share his woman with anybody. Y'all got your stupid Bible that you guys want to cling to so bad. What was Noah all upset about? Shit, Noah was sitting up there in his tent. His son walked in there and he looked up on his nakedness. Understand, men see each other naked all the time. That don't mean a damn thing. That wasn't it. It was his wife. She is the one he seen. That's considered his nakedness. You looked upon, and so he got mad at old boy. Men value their women. They don't want, I've never been in a country where men have been okay with going after another man and with a woman, except for the United States. Our young black men are forced to have to be with a woman and have children with a woman, and then only to find out maybe one of them isn't his, and then there's 3 or 4 men that have to do a DNA test. You know what that's saying? That is filth. That means that woman allowed several men, plus the man she's supposed to be married with or in a union with, inside of her unprotected. Oh my God. One after another after another. That is called filth. That's immoral. And so these guys are leaving the United States. They've been damaged by Shanae and Keisha. And Keisha and Shanae been damaged by Ray and Pookie. Because see, Ray and Pookie, they lack ambition. And they put on this big front, they cool, they this, they that, and everything, and then they get with the woman, and then they produce a child, and then they gone. No responsibility at all. They were raised by a woman who told them that they didn't have to be masculine. They didn't have to be head of the house. So they were comfortable being emasculated in that way, where that mama took care of me, so Shanae and Keisha's supposed to take care of me. And so he's damaged, totally damaged. Okay? Then you have these high value young men coming along because, see, they saw the education, they saw a good job, they were financially stable, I mean, money out the yin yang. And they're wanting what Pedro down there in potato field, they want what he got. He got a loyal wife, he got children, okay, he got a nice family unit, and when he walk in that little shack that he live in, he's king of the castle. And here they can afford ivory towers, and there's nobody there for them, so they decide they want to revolt and call the passport bros. And y'all, them fools is coming over here, and they going to China and Japan, they going to Africa, places in Africa they going is Ghana, Nigeria, Rwanda. Used to have killing fields in Rwanda, and now it's so beautiful. Those guys are going to Rwanda, Eritrea, they're going to Ethiopia even. These guys are going everywhere, Cameroon, Senegal, and they're marrying up, okay? But they're making a mistake because they're damaged goods. See, I talked about you sisters, and I know you was feeling bad, but these guys are worse. And I'm going to tell you why. But first, I'm going to read something to you that I wrote, because I wrote it for the passport bros, because I knew that these guys are coming in full force, okay? And I wanted them to do something before they left. So listen to what I wrote for them young men, okay? This is very, very important. You must let go to grab happiness and peace. They can't survive with what you are carrying. Long before I left the USA for my so-called world tour, I did some soul searching. I have always been one to enjoy me time in remote nature settings. One day, it all came to a head. One quiet day. I felt sadness come over me. I was petrified and confused all at the same time. In an instant, I was seeing images of family and friends and foes alike. They were coming at me to do me harm. As I looked into each one's face, I'd recall that individual's betrayal or thievery or gossiping or backbiting or downright lies toward me. I felt so depressed, but not defeated. I looked at them with sadness. I began to see them shrinking right in front of my eyes. Soon, I began to feel sad for them, so I squared my shoulders back and forgave them. I am an empath, so I felt their pain deep inside of my soul. Then a sense of compassion emerged, and I immediately began to forgive each and every one. As I called out each one, I forgave them. I watched as they disappeared. My breathing changed in an instant. I was for the first time in my adult life able to breathe easily out of both nostrils. I felt as though I was coming out of a high, and I don't even do substances. Then, in a flash, I was standing in front of a mirror. The mirror lost my reflection, and like a large screen, that mirror showed me everyone from my family to friends to foes that I hurt Oh yeah, I found myself back into that depression. I was literally unable to breathe. I began to hyperventilate as each person's image showed. I looked into their faces. I seen tears and anger. Before I knew it, I was snot crying. I looked at them ashamed but fearless, and I apologized. I asked their forgiveness, and I forgave myself. I released all to all. Just know, hurt people hurt people. Again, my breathing began, and a feeling came over me of peace and tranquility. I felt a weight being lifted off me. I now know nirvana. Before I left that quiet place, I gathered up all that ugliness I was carrying around and bagged it up and left it alongside the curb. I was free and at peace. So it wasn't unusual for me to spend my first 5 years living abroad alone. My living wasn't to escape anything or anyone. I left to be adventurous. It just turned out I already had peace within me. I truly believe that so many people need to hear this. I know people leaving bad relationships and immediately begin to search out another. I know people who have left a hostile workplace, and instead of giving themselves a time out, they rush off to the next place. Then I see people who leave a living place in exchange for another, thinking things will change if the environment changes. Then sadly, one of the biggest moments in modern era comes along called the passport bros. These are men that have been culturally demeaned and ridiculed by Western women. So they are leaving the USA in hopes of meeting more traditional women with marriage and family at the center of their belief system. What makes me give caution is the fact that they leave the USA and arrive in a developing country with the same distrust, hurt, betrayal, and rejection. So I feel sorry for those innocent women who are getting damaged goods. The same damaged goods that the passport bros complained about while in the USA. You can't expect peace and tranquility until you let go. Your peace will find you. You don't have to look for it. And if this writing does nothing to you or for you, that saddens me. I truly believe our battles aren't won until we look inwards. I am Nathan Robinson, and I am back quiet. I need for you guys to adopt that. Go into your quiet place. Deal with all that ugliness behind you. Get rid of it. Come to terms with it. Your ills, their ills. Everybody got those ills. We all got those issues. Bring those to the forefront. And if you have to look in the mirror, look in the mirror. You'll see the mirror anyway. It don't even have to really even be there. It's going to come right up in your face as soon as you start going there. And when you guys do that, I really, really think that you're going to come to a very peaceful existence. And you're going to come to terms with a lot, and you're going to be okay with yourself. And so then you can move forward. Okay? And because right now, got too much crap going on. This battle of the sexes shit gotta stop. Let us old men sit up here and beat up on you, because I'll beat up on you. I'll talk about the women, I talk about the men, I talk about the jelly beans, which is all the different colors of folks running around here and their cultural issues and stuff. Okay? But you don't need to beat up each other. Okay? You guys got some problems, deal with the ones inside of you. Okay? because people like me raising the alarm. All I want you to do is look inside yourself. Okay? I don't want you to go out there broadcasting everything, looking like the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy. I'll be your huckleberry. Not a problem. So let's go on and look inside ourselves and let's find some peace. Okay? And so there's my social commentary for the podcast, all right? I love you. I am Nathan Robinson, and I am back quiet.